Good morning and welcome back to your weekend unboxing here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at Horrified Greek Monsters, where all Hades breaks loose. Now, this is the third installment in the Horrified series from Ravensburger. It was released in 2023 and continues using the same Horrified game system, which is cooperative, multiple players versus multiple monsters, and it's been a big hit in our family. So when we saw this one come out, it was pretty much a no-brainer. You take Horrified, which we already like, you add in Greek mythology, which I've been a fan of since I was a child, and it's going to be fun. So today we're just going to take a look. We're going to get our first impressions on the game. But before we do that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's board games, miniatures, card games, role-playing, or honestly anything, whether it's live streams, painting, or panels with other friends talking about games. If it's about tabletop gaming content, we'd love to talk about it here. So come along and see what we have to share. In addition, there are going to be links down in the description for affiliate links to Amazon and DriveThruRPG. And if you want to help out the channel, we would absolutely appreciate it. So with all of that said and out of the way, let's go ahead and switch over to our top-down camera. Which actually, no, I don't know what I'm doing this morning. Actually, confession, this is the second take on the video. And as you all know, we don't do edits. So we're doing it live, folks. All right. So do be aware, I did go through all of this once and I had forgotten to hit the record button. So I finished the video and I had nothing to show for it. So they're not going to necessarily be my first impressions, but we'll try to recreate it. So first off, we've got our cover here. It's got all of the Greek monsters that you are going to encounter in Horrified. And honestly, it's just a nice, fun piece of art. One thing you're going to hear me say a lot during this unboxing is that they use a lot more bright colors in this edition. And it really comes through all over the box and all over the components. So we've got the cover, we've got on the back, we've got pictures of all of the different miniatures for the monsters. And then obviously, just an example of the game set up and ready for play. It does play in about an hour. They recommend 10 and up, and this will play from 1 to 5 players. I have not tried Horrified solo, although I probably should. I have this aversion to solo gaming. Don't ask me why. Anyways. All right, so this is the back of our game board. It says, Pandora's box has been breached. 6 monsters have erupted from its infinite depths. You have been chosen by the gods to work together and rid our world of this scourge. Make haste, for if you fail in your task, we shall be plunged into the everlasting fear. All right, so as you all know, I have the infamously small work area. So I will do my best to show off different components of the game board. All right, so first off, one thing I'll point out is I do feel like the spaces are a bit larger than you get in other Horrified games. Not necessarily that you need the extra space, but if you are farther apart on the table, can make it a little bit easier to get components and tokens and whatnot into the spaces. But they are, traditional things that you would associate with ancient Greece: the Forest of the Dryads, Temple of Nyx, Temple of Hades, a port over here. That is not... There we go. There's the port. Then, I don't know. Let me turn this around. Alright, then we got Mount Iliad, a trading post, the Temple of Athena, ruins, the stadium, the necropolis. So, again, just all sorts of things that you associate with ancient Greece. Very, very bright colors. One thing I will say that is a little disappointing, it does seem a little bit more cartoony to me. That's really the best way I have to describe it. It's not that I don't like it. Um, it just gives it a little bit different effect. Maybe it's because of the brighter colors. I'm not sure. Um, just one thing I noticed. I don't hate it. It just looks different than the other Horrified games. So there's that. All right. Then we've got our instructions. All right. Listing out all of the components. The different monster tokens for combating and defeating the different monsters of the game. Our instructions. I'll be honest. Looking through it, I don't. Oh, now that I'm going through it a second time, having looked through it once, I didn't see anything that looks different rules wise between the different Horrified. Obviously, you're going to have different monsters and different ways to defeat the monsters. So kind of does come down to which theme do you want. Do you want your classic movie monsters? Do you want American legends? Or do you want Greek mythology? So, or do you want them all? I don't know. I have them all. But otherwise, we've got different, just the different monsters. Interesting. So right here it says Greek monster color symbols. So you've got purple, orange, blue, yellow, green, brown, teal, and red. So that's 8. But there's only 6 monsters. Now I'm confused. Oh. Okay. There are... Let's see if we can zoom in on this. Okay, so right here, each monster has a different, essentially, code. So you've got blue, brown, and teal on the basilisk. Not just one particular color. So different. Interesting. Okay, that is a bit of a change. That'll be different. Definitely going to try that out. All right, so we then have our different monsters. There are 6. We've got the Siren, the Cerberus, the Chimera, the Basilisk, the Medusa, and the Minotaur. All right, we then have our tokens. Now, the tokens, one thing I like about them is they look like these Greek scrolls. But, as you can see, the detail is really good. It's very clear. Again, these bright colors, but you can just see all of the detail that they put in it. So anyway, so we've got yellow, blue, and green tokens. So let me zoom this back out. We then have our civilians. We have the heroes. So we've got 7 different heroes. These are all double-sided, but it's the same pictures on both sides, so that's why I'm not showing that. Different tokens for the games, and we've got some of our heroes. We've got a musician, the mariner, the ranger, and the shepherd. The mariner... Alright, I'm not a big fan of this art because it looks like a modern-day, what you would associate with Greek mariner, but not? I don't know. Or maybe I'm overthinking it again. Anyway, so just some art here on the back. More tokens and more characters. So then we've got our hoplite, our actor, and our traveler. Alright, so that's all of the cardboard. Alright, we're going to look at the miniatures last. Alright, the dice. These are gorgeous. I like the blue marble with the gold paint. All of the other 2 Horrified games, they're just black dice with white paint. These are gorgeous. Got the plastic bases for the figures. We've got a bag for all the tokens. This is actually nice. Open this up, and it will sit on the table upright. So I like that. All right. We've got all of our cards. So these are going to be cards for, these are the monster cards. Basically, you're going to reveal one at the end of every player's turn. And then that will tell you what to do, how many items to put out, what event to have occur, and then what monster gets activated and what it does. We then have these cards, which you can see with the Temple of Zeus. And, okay, I really like the art on these. It looks like it's a relief off of a Greek temple. But basically, these are one-time effect cards. So, like, choose one, move any monster up to 3 places, or place a hero in a monster space. So, you'll get those for various reasons. And then we've got some cheat sheet cards, which I'm always a fan of. All right, we've got our monster cards. So first off, I absolutely just love the design. The fact that it's not just a square piece of paper, but it looks like a Greek temple is fantastic. But the art is really good. Again, our Basilisk, the Cerberus, Chimera, Medusa, and Minotaur, and Siren. So all of these, basically, they're going to have all of the rules for that particular monster, how you defeat it, and how you get rid of it. All right, so that is all of those components. So last thing I want to do is I want to look at the miniatures. All right, I mixed on the miniatures. I'll tell you that up front. Okay, so first off, the detail is really good. So, like, here's our Minotaur. You can see the armor plates. You can see little, like, details, fur, things like that. Overall, it's a really, really good-looking miniature. And look how much it bends. This is a soft, rubbery PVC. I will not try to paint these, even though I think they would look great painted up. Ravensburger, I do not know if you're ever going to see this video. If you do, please put out some harder plastic miniatures. It doesn't have to be like model hard plastic, but just like something that stands better. And seriously, I'll buy it. I promise. Just so I can paint them up. At this point, I will probably just do like a black wash on all of these just to pick out the details so that you can see it a little better. But I'm definitely not going to full paint them. But we've got our Minotaur, the Chimera. So again, you can see all the fur. You can see the detail on the ground. The scales on the Cobra for the Chimera tail. We've got Medusa. Again, just great detail, but just how soft the plastic is, the paint would just break right off. So, I'm very, very frustrated with that. The Siren, you can see all the individual feathers, and unfortunately the lighting doesn't show it off very well, but there's texture even on the feathers, so that's really good. We've got Cerberus, the 3-headed dog. I love the little hands grasping out of Hades. And then we have our chicken lizard basilisk thing, whatever. Anyways, I like the miniatures. They're good miniatures. They're really, really good sculpts. They are absolutely horrible material. I'm very disappointed in that. It will not affect my enjoyment of the game. I just won't get to paint them up. So that is disappointing. But that is Horrified Greek Monsters. What do you think? Have you played it already? Is this going to be the game that pulls you into Horrified? Put it down in the comments. Let us know. I'd love to hear from you. But with that said, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I put out a few videos each week, and we'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. So thank you so much for watching, folks. If you are interested in picking up Horrified, like I said, there will be a link down in the description. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we will talk to you next time.